What if I told you that the director of AARO, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, called David Grusch a liar, and in turn, David Grusch called Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick a liar? Obviously, someone here is not telling the truth. On October 31st, 2023, a media roundtable was held that on the U.S. Department of Defense website was titled, AARO Director Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick holds an off-camera media roundtable October 31st, 2023. During this media roundtable, a questioner asked, and I quote, "Questioner, so David Grusch, the whistleblower who came forward to News Nation, says he reached out to you to share his discoveries and that you didn't follow up. So did you follow up and investigate his claims? He says he still hasn't heard from you. So ultimately, why haven't you two connected?" Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick responds, "So Mr. Grusch, since AARO has stood up and since I've been director, has not come to see us and provided any information." Questioner, and so he's also says that he briefed you before you assumed your position in AARO. Have you had the chance to follow up on any of the inquiries that he made or talk to any of the witnesses? Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick responds, "So the last time I believe I spoke with Mr. Grusch was when I was in the J2 at U.S. Space Command about 5 years ago. And it was not on this topic, UFOs. Now, we have interviewed a whole range of people, over 30 people now. I think we've interviewed most of the people that he may have talked to, but we don't know that. And we have extended an invitation at least 4 or 5 times now for him to come in over the last 8 months or so, and has been declined. This is obviously incredibly problematic, as there are at least 2 instances where David Grusch stated he talked with Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. The first one comes from the June 11th News Nation interview that was conducted by journalist Ross Coulthart. Let's play that clip, shall we?
Well, I know Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. I've known him for about 8 years. And, I expressed some concerns to Dr. Kirkpatrick about a year ago and told him what I was starting to uncover. And he didn't follow up with me. And he has my phone number. He could have called me. I hope he ultimately does the right thing. He should be able to make the same investigative discoveries I did. It's totally crazy if he doesn't.
The second instance that I know of that David Grusch publicly stated he has spoken with Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick was indeed under oath before the United States Congress on July 26. Let's play that clip as well.
On the 19th of April, Dr. Kirkpatrick, head of AARO, had said that he did not find any evidence of UAPs. You also stated that you had, in your interview, that you had briefed him on information that you were uncovering, but that he did not follow up with you. Were the items that you divulged to him pertinent to national security?
Yes, him and I had a classified conversation in April 2022 before he took over AARO in July 2022, and I provided him some concerns I had.
Do you know why he might not have followed up with you?
Unfortunately, I cannot read his mind. I wish he did. I was happy to give sage counsel to him on where to look when he took the helm of AARO.
As you heard from Grusch himself under oath, he stated he had a classified conversation with Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick on April of 2022. So very interestingly, after the October 31st media roundtable that we already covered, Grusch contacted journalist Brian Entin.
So it's interesting that you got a reaction from Grusch. Grusch is not a fan of AARO. He does, there's a lot of distrust there, right?
There is. There's sort of this sense among some whistleblowers, Grusch included, that AARO is trying to sort of cover up what happened. And this quote here is interesting. Basically, Dr. Kirkpatrick today said that he had tried reaching out to UFO whistleblower David Grusch several times to talk to him recently and didn't get a response. David Grusch sent me that text message and said, "I have 0 emails or calls from them. That is a lie." So David Grusch says, despite what the director said in the briefing that has not happened.
Now, let's quickly review where Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick stated he tried getting in touch with Grusch from the October 31st media roundtable that journalist Brian Enton just referred to as a briefing. Quote, "And we have extended an invitation at least 4 or 5 times now for him to come in over the last 8 months or so, and he has been declined. I'm sorry, but this is hard to believe, and I'm also sorry that I think Kirkpatrick is full of you-know-what, and Grusch is the honest broker here." To put this in perspective, Grusch leaves his lucrative elite position within the U.S. government to come forward claiming that the U.S. government is not only covering up UFOs, but actively engages in campaigns to lead the public astray on the topic. He takes a big hit financially as a result of this decision to come forward. And obviously, among many people, he's taken a big hit reputationally as well. And we are to believe that Kirkpatrick tried getting in touch with him at least 4 or 5 times over the last 8 months, and he has declined? Call me skeptical on that one. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, in my mild maniacal laugh, I forgot to mention that Mr. Grusch testified to both the Department of Defense Inspectors General, the Intelligence Community Inspectors General, as well as Senate and House Oversight Committees, and he has people that have gone public and have gone on the record privately that are credentialed, some former and some current government employees that have backed up his testimony. Considering all this, why in the world would he avoid Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick as Kirkpatrick blatantly claimed? Yeah. No. On November 2nd, an article dropped in the Daily Mail titled "Exclusive: Pentagon UFO Chief Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick will be replaced by end of the year as whistleblowers accuse him of lying to the public and ignoring witnesses." A candidate shortlist to replace Dr. Kirkpatrick at the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, has been interviewed, an ex-official told DailyMail.com. New UFO whistleblowers, per one attorney, don't want to go to Sean's AARO. Really knowledgeable UFO whistleblowers, people who've laid their hands on the equipment, as the attorney told the DailyMail.com, never did trust Sean. And just for clarity's sake, so I just gave you the main points of this article. I'm not going to go too much further into it, but just for contextual clarity, later in the article it was written, "The Mail's former intelligence official, who has intimate knowledge of the military's ever-evolving UFO UAP investigation portfolio, cautioned against drawing a direct line between these controversies and any plans for Kirkpatrick's departure, however. Sean has directly told folks he is leaving by the end of the year," this former intelligence official told the DailyMail.com, "under the condition of anonymity. I think it's completely a planned departure. He probably gave them a timeline when he took the job, according to this source, citing geographical stress on Dr. Kirkpatrick's family life." Richard Butt, who I think is a legitimate insider, wrote on Twitter, "Naughty November is official and the festivities are just beginning. Excuse me, this is numinous November." But let's continue. Dustin W. writes, "Also, will the person to replace him be badass for disclosure a la Elizondo, Mellon, or even yourself, or another DOD stooge like Kirkpatrick?" The candidate names, and he's referring to the people that have been selected to be eligible to replace Dr. Kirkpatrick, I've heard are all good, but ultimately that is someone else's decision to make. Plan for the worst and hope for the best. But I think this is developing the way it needs to. On November 4th, Representative Anna Paulina Luna wrote, "UAP update. We received permission from Grusch to read his Inspector's General report. So looks like it's back to the skiff." And then on top she wrote, We couldn't get Grusch in a skiff because his clearance is not active. Trust me when I say this entire process has been frustrating, to say the least. So she's going to be able to read the IG report, and hopefully we'll hear her impression after that happens. And Representative Luna was in a skiff on October 26th with other representatives getting briefed by the Department of Defense Inspector General. And this upcoming November 16th is another scheduled briefing from, this time it will be from the Intelligence Community Inspectors General. So a lot of interesting things coming, that's for sure. On November 1st, James Fox wrote on Twitter, "Our latest film has been shot 98% and am currently in the edit room for the next 4 to 6 months. This moment with Tim Burchett was incredibly powerful as he was sharing the level of shock some fellow lawmakers experienced after hearing David Grusch testify." Then he goes on to say, "I've been really enjoying sticking my teeth into this sequence." Mike Colangelo responds, "Any first-hand witnesses of crash retrieval programs in your new documentary? I remember you mentioned that you have recorded interviews with some of them." James Fox responds, "Cannot discuss. I don't think anyone will be disappointed." Tell me how you say I've recorded first-hand crash retrieval program witnesses without saying I've recorded first-hand crash retrieval program witnesses. I feel fairly strongly that he's recorded first-hand credentialed witnesses from alleged UFO crash retrieval programs that consist of craft of non-human origin. And that's the indication to me. Before we go, let me rap for you. Wouldn't that be nice? I call this rap the fog of disclosure. Yo, we cruising to disclosure. It's the UFO parade. Fog's thick, but don't you be afraid. Tim Burchett's calling out the shade. Dadgam cover up. He ain't gonna evade. Whistleblowers lining up, back to back. David Grusch got the juice. James Fox packs the pack. Truth's on the launch pad, ready to crack. Stars alignments, the signal, no turning back. UFO news is a 24/7 scene. No rewind to pre-2017. Noah had his flood. We got a news machine. UFO coverage non-stop, if you know what I mean. Dave Grusch is in the skiff with the alien files, spilling the secrets, flipping the dials. Keep your hope through the disclosure miles. Paradigm shifting, it's a journey with smiles. In the fog of the cosmos, we ain't lost. The truth's coming out no matter the cost. In this rap of disclosure, we're the boss. Welcome to the new world. It's time to emboss. Please do not forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to support my channel, you can check out my merch shop where I sell t-shirts. You can become a patron. You can become a YouTube member. You can give me a one-time donation. All those potentialities can be accessed in the description box below, or you can just stop a like on this bad boy and I will appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Special thanks to all patrons, YouTube members, those that have bought merch, those that have given me a one-time donation. I couldn't do without you. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.